Hey guys, this is Draiku
And it's just ShneekeyTheLost.
coming back at you with episode number 2 of our Blood Magic Tutorial Showcase episodic thing we're doing. So today's episode, we're going to take over the world and kill everything, right?
Well, we're going to start on that process.
But I got this nifty shiny sword. We can't just go out and kill all the cows or something?
Well, as we mentioned in the previous episode, sentient swords are highly enchantable. And so what kind of enchantments did you put on that sword?
Well, it looks like I got looting 3 on here, so that means I get a lot more stuff. And mending, so it'll fix itself when I kill stuff.
Yep, so you no longer have to worry about it ever running out. It basically runs just like your sentient armor does, is it repairs itself. Only in this case, it uses experience to do so instead of wills. And looting 3, by the way, also dramatically increases the amount of wills that you get when you kill mobs with the sentient sword. So both very useful enchantments for your sentient sword.
Nifty.
But today, we're actually going to get into the titular actual blood magic, where we are using blood to take over the world.
Ooh, this could be fun. Okay, what do we do first?
First, we're going to be making a blood altar. And if you notice, it does require a demonic will of any quality. So we're using this chintzy little 0.14 demonic will here.
That's a crappy will right there.
It is. So it's perfect for using in this thing because it is consumed. And then just a furnace, some stone, some gold. So relatively low tier quality stuff here.
Like first day stuff.
Yeah, it's like first day stuff. So now we've got our blood altar. I did some improvements to the infrastructure, off camera.
Let me go sleep real quick so we're not bombarded yet.
Yes, always a good thing to make sure that we don't get surprise creeper.
I mean, surprise creepers are fun, but we've already proven the armor can withstand them, so there's no need for a repeat.
Right. I was actually really surprised at how resilient the sentient armor actually is. Even I was really impressed by that. So,
oh, dude, we got a bridge.
Yeah, we made a little bridge, and over here I flattened out the terrain. That's going to be more useful, say, when we hit a little bit more advanced. There's a mechanic we can use to really increase the rate at which you manually do self-sacrificing. That's something that's really not going to be too useful. But one other thing I did, if you look directly here, this is actually a travel anchor from Ender.io. So I just hit duck.
Aha. Bam. Downstairs.
And we are at the mob grinder. So since
so
we've got a handy source of blood right here, why don't we go ahead and just drop that blood altar right there?
It looks like that spot.
So gee, fancy that. We will be moving it here after we get to tier 2, but for now this will be perfect.
Okay.
Now we've got a blood altar. Now we need to have a way to put the blood in the altar.
So let me guess.
And to do that,
and I'll squat down and you stab me.
Unfortunately, the dagger that is used to sacrifice other people is tier 2. So we're going to be doing the tier 1 sacrificial dagger. And if we looked up that recipe in JEI, you'll notice it's just about 5 pieces of glass, a gold ingot, and an iron ingot. So again, very, very early entry kind of stuff. I'm just going to go get the materials because I did not plan ahead. But fortunately, we've got that at our base. We've got, we're pretty set up here.
Yeah, the space is coming along. We have chocolate now. We have a full kitchen going on. I think we showed that off in the first episode. I'm not really sure.
I believe we did. So let me just go ahead and make this sacrificial dagger real quick.
We have a rudimentary refined storage system just to help us keep track of stuff.
Yeah, and actually, it's kind of ironic. There's actually a blood magic way to be able to automate our farm, which we'll be doing later instead of using the farming station that just about everyone else uses.
Oh, nifty.
So that's actually going to be really cool. when we get around to that. That's going to be a little bit higher tier than what we've got right now. So, yeah, but for now,
all right.
I go ahead and make the sacrificial dagger.
Before we go back outside, look in the corner of the house. There's a creeper, but I can't find it. Look on the mini-map. He's right where I'm standing. You see him?
Is he downstairs?
No. I guess maybe there's caves under the house. Maybe he's in the cave.
Yeah, there's caves under the house. There's a cave that we actually kind of quasi built through. So he's probably in the cave below us.
Oh wow! If you look at the mini map, if you pull up the full size screen map, the cave looks like a giant scorpion.
Awesome.
It's the little things I like that make you happy.
So let's go ahead and head back out to the altar.
Right downstairs. Okay. So what are we doing now?
So now we stand next to it and
poke ourselves. I don't have a knife. Should I have made a knife too? I didn't even think to make one when I was over there.
And then you just right-click that, and that hurts, and it puts blood in the altar. Fortunately, we've got some pretty good regeneration going on here. And now that I've hit myself a few times with this, and I need to go eat to regenerate, I can go ahead and put a diamond in here.
Ooh,
and you notice the sparkly effects.
It's throwing blood around. It's kind of gross. Or no, I mean it's all powerful and awesome. So how do you know how much blood is in there?
Well, we'll get to that in just a moment. For right now, however, we're going to wait here just a bit longer. It just takes a while for the tier 1 stuff. There are ways to speed things up later on.
Okay, so I'm going to say if everything takes this long to craft, we're going to be here for like 500 episodes instead of 10 or 15.
No, not everything takes this long. This is actually a fairly big item for the entry thing.
Okay. Whoa, it turned into a red eyeball.
Yep, this is the weak blood orb, and I have to right-click it at least once to bind it to myself. Why don't you go ahead and try out this this nifty system and make one for yourself?
Okay, so I throw the diamond in there. Right-clicking it, okay.
And just right-click that that dagger on yourself. Careful, you can kill yourself doing this.
Oh, you take all the fun out of it. Down to 2 hearts.
I might want to eat something so you can heal faster.
It wasn't letting me. I had to.
Yeah, if you're mousing on the blood altar, it will try and put stuff in the altar.
No, I still had full saturation.
Ah.
Keep on hitting myself here. Hurt myself. I gotta wait and let the saturation go away before I can do it again. There we go. So what happens if it runs out of blood?
There we go. If it runs out of blood, the red particle effects become gray particle effects, and it loses progress in whatever it was making.
That's not good.
Now then, the next thing we can make with this, I am going to...
that I own this now.
Yep. That is your blood altar, and the blood orbs are linked to your LP soul network. And so any rituals you run will come from that.
Oh, now you have a blood-covered rock.
Yep, it is called a blank slate. And this is actually what we're going to use to make our next tool. And that tool will actually answer your question of how do we know how much LP is in there?
Okay. What do I do
So
now?
go ahead and pull up JEI and look up Arcane Ashes.
Arcane. Okay, got it. It says I need a Hellfire Forge. I need redstone, bone meal, coal, and gunpowder.
All right, let's go ahead and head back to base and make it.
Oop. Ah. I'm sure I'm surprised for somebody who just spilled all his blood everywhere, right?
You heal.
Okay, so we decided we need a bone meal. What was it? A bone meal, a redstone, a gunpowder, and a coal. Gunpowder. And
Okay.
Coal. Okay, I got it all.
Okay, now let's head over to the Hellfire Forge and drop them in.
Put all those in there. Oh, you already had a little crystal thing in there. Ooh, I got ashes. Well, why do I want ashes?
Well, this is what we are going to be using to do the next mechanic to deal with item creation. Let's take this one outside, shall we?
All right, but I'm not very good at PvP.
Go ahead and click the Arcane Ashes on the ground.
Anywhere, just on the ground.
Yep.
Okay, poof. Oh.
Also, notice it took durability, but it didn't go away.
I see this.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and click this thing with this redstone that I've got.
Okay. Oh, it changed.
And you notice it changed. Now it's got this eye inside this six-pointed star.
Yeah.
And now we're going to right-click that with this blank slate.
Okay. Hey, it spins and it flies. Can you ride it?
Probably not such a good idea.
Oh. It spit out a rock.
Yep, specifically, it spat out a divination sigil.
Oh, cool.
And then I right-click it, and it binds to myself, and it tells me how much LP I have in my network. I'm going to make one for you because this is an incredibly valuable tool because it also, with a couple of other add-on mods that we've got, the one probe actually is what we're using to be able to see things with. And there is an add-on for the one probe that gives you additional functionality if you've got one of these babies. So go ahead and let's do that again.
What's the name of the add-on?
And that again, I believe it's like TOP add-ons. Oh, shoot. I need another blank slate. I'll be right back. Fortunately, as you can see, it just sits around. It's not going to expire. It's just going to wait patiently for me to run back here, cut myself, throw in another stone. Yeah, here we go.
I'm going to stand in the middle of this, and it won't let me ride it, though. I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, might not be best to try and ride that. The fellow by the name of Alphonse Elric came to a bad end trying that.
What, kind of like a hover disc from Back to the Future, so I was hoping I could use that to fly around the land.
Yeah, and unfortunately not quite so cool.
Yeah, you see, it sits there and lets me jump on it. That's about it. Nope, still can't ride it.
Yep. Now, there are going to be several other things we're going to be making with these Arcane Ashes. Most of our sigils, which are going to be our tools, is going to be made in that manner. So, right-click that, and it should tell you how many LP you have in your soul network.
It says I have 200 of them.
Yep. And then let's go ahead and head down to our blood altar and see if it doesn't tell us anything more about the blood altar.
Okay. What do I just click the blood altar?
Right-click it with your divination.
It says it's at 3,800 out of 10,000. Tier 1.
So now we have a more discrete way of understanding how much LP is in the altar And then if we look up stuff, like, say, let's go ahead and look up that weak blood orb in JEI, and it should say tier 1 was 2,000 LP to make that.
Yeah, I see that.
So this is going to give us a way to calculate exactly how much it's going to take to be able to make something in here. Now, the next thing that we're going to want is an imperfect ritual stone.
Now, I'm looking ahead here, and I see things that cost like 25,000 LP, but this guy says he only holds 10,000. Am I getting ahead of the game here?
We'll get into that in a later episode, but yes, there are ways to increase that, and even if you don't increase the maximum capacity, as long as you have a consistent throughput of blood coming in faster than it's draining out, you can keep up with it and be able to do stuff. But actually, how about this? How would you like to run the base's power network on LP?
What do you mean?
Well, there's a handy little device called a lava crystal. Go ahead and look that up if you want.
Lava crystal.
Mm-hmm. You'll notice it says it is a tier 1. It requires 2 obsidian, a diamond, 3 lava buckets, your blood orb, and a couple of pieces of glass. And the lava crystal... Yeah, it'll work with the weak blood orb.
I'm saying, do we lose it?
No. The blood orb is always returned on these recipes.
Okay, so I don't have to panic and make like 10 of these things.
Right. Good question, though. Absolutely. So
we're going back downstairs?
Yeah, we're going to need to go ahead and make this crystal. Now, the only catch here is that it will consume LP from your soul network to be able to act as a fuel source. So you've only got 200 LP in your network. Might not be advisable to just set it and forget it, because you may end up regretting that.
That sounds like a bad idea. So I'm guessing I'm going to be able to automate getting that, what is LP? Is that like life stuff?
Life points, LP.
So we'll be able to automate getting those life points probably not this episode, but pretty soon it sounds like.
Yeah, we can certainly go ahead and do something like that. Always desirable to automate all the things. I'm just getting some lava here out of the smeltery, because we're not going to be needing that in short order.
Okay.
And I believe I made some obsidian up over here, so I've got some of that.
Check that out, boys and girls. See, plans ahead. That's something your host here could learn, probably.
Oh, right. I need a couple of pieces of glass. Where did I leave that laying around? I hope it didn't break. Glass shards can be quite painful.
There's 5 black stained glass in the RS system.
That should work. Oh, no, it won't, because we need regular glass. How about this? I'll just grab some sand here and toss it in the smelter upstairs.
Okay. By the way, while we're making the glass, don't forget, if you're liking the episode, to hit that like button. If you really, really like it, go and subscribe, and don't forget to share this out on social media, on the Twitters and on the Discords and curses and all that. And if you're checking this out on my channel, I have a link for ShneekeyTheLost down in the description. If you're checking this out on his channel, then click over to my channel too and hit subscribe, because we both have some really, really cool things. You can learn even more.
Oh, right. I need, let's see, I need a diamond. So let me go grab that from downstairs, from our small cache of diamonds that you found.
Yeah, I got kind of lucky after we shot that first episode, and Sneeky here had cleared this massive tunnel going like miles and miles back into the bedrock, and didn't find any diamonds. I went back there and just started randomly whacking walls, and I found, like 20 diamonds in 5 minutes?
Something like that, yeah. It's just one of those things. I spend a couple of hours and I don't find a single diamond. He goes back behind me 5 minutes later. He's got like 20 of them. So, that's how Minecraft works. So here's the lava crystal.
So this one's going to be bound to you because you're using your blood orb? Is that how that works?
Actually, no. What it is it's whoever right-clicks it first, it will be permanently bound to. But the thing is, we're going to be using the lava crystal to make something.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Oh. That actually can't happen until tier 3. Unfortunate.
Yeah. So we can't make that one yet.
Because I was about to... Yeah, so I was about to show off the imperfect ritual stones. Oh. But unfortunately, while you can make them from tier 1, I think you need the weak activation crystal to activate them, which is unfortunate.
So yeah, we can't do any rituals till we build that altar up some more, it sounds like.
Yep.
Dag-nabbit.
But I believe that is going to be for another episode. I think we're kind of hitting that wrapping up point here pretty soon.
We still got about 5 to 6 minutes left if there's anything else we can do.
Well, the tier 1 altar, there is one more thing we can make, although it won't be of use immediately. That would be the incense altar.
Yeah, let's knock that out really quick.
It's just going to be some smooth stone, piece of charcoal, blood orb, and the cobblestone. I happen to have most of that except the cobble on me. Let me go grab some cobble.
Is it charcoal or coal, or does it matter?
It specifically calls out charcoal.
Okay. Remind me to wire these chests up to the system between episodes.
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing a more significant system later on, but yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and make this incense altar real quick.
Okay, so is this going to make everything smell good? Like give us 3D smell-o-vision?
Actually, what it's going to do is give us a more optimal way of making LP.
Ooh.
Using that sacrificial knife a little bit more effectively. Beginning tier, it doesn't really do as much. You really don't start getting into the multipliers until tier 2. But if nothing else, what you can do is instead of just standing there and hitting yourself and hitting yourself and hitting yourself and hitting yourself, you just pull out that thing. I plop it down here. Pull out your
oh, look at that!
Sacrificial dagger. Yep, it lit up. We're gonna wait for it to go down. There we go.
How much did?
Now let's go
downstairs.
downstairs.
Did you get from that dagger before you lit it up?
200.
Okay. We'll see how much we get this time. Hang on! Don't stab yourself yet.
So there's currently 3,800 LP in there.
Okay, give yourself a whack. 5960. Wow, that's a major bonus.
Yeah, it also took up 9 hearts.
That's why it's a major bonus. So we went from 38 to 5960. So that was what, 2160. Where normally we would have only gotten 1,800 out of that. So that's a pretty good bonus.
Yeah, and you noticed I had those little white particle effects after doing so. That's soul free to keep you from spamming it too much. But I can just walk back up there, zoom, because we've got the little anchors there. Walk over here, it lights up, it unlights up.
I'm getting a 20% bonus off of
and
this.
then back down. Oh, awesome.
Okay, nifty.
And yeah, so that's a really fast way to fill that up and to minimize the amount of grinding going on.
I never did care for the grinding in 1.7.10, so I never really used the mod that much. I would like make the altar and Infinity Expert just so I could make the other stuff you had to make for Blood Magic, and that was it.
Yeah, that really minimizes it. Now, the last thing we're going to cover today is going to be the blank rune.
Okay.
And if you pull that up, you'll notice it is just going to be 2 blank slates, some smooth stone, and a weak blood orb.
That's easy.
And this is what we're going to be using to make this altar a little bit more impressive. Because right now, it's just kind of sitting there on a little cobblestone thing that I built. But doesn't really look so impressive right now.
No, I've seen bigger ones on YouTube before. I was kind of wondering what was going on here.
Yeah, these blank runes are what we're going to be using, and they can actually be upgraded later on to some more impressive runes that we'll get into as they start unlocking. But this is what we're going to need for a Tier 2 altar to be able to unlock more keys to world domination and or destruction.
Ah, destruction. Now you're talking my game. So,
but that is going to require a fair bit, because I'm going to be needing 8 runes to be able to make a Tier 2 altar. I'm going to need 2 slates each. That's going to be 16 of these slates to make my Tier 2 altar. That's going to be a little bit of grinding that, we really don't need to bother with on camera.
Okay, well, I think that'll be a good cutting off point for this episode then. We're sitting here about 26 minutes. That's a good cutting off point. We can grind all that off camera and then come back and we can set that up for all those wonderful viewers at home to see how we do it in the next episode. What do you think?
Yep. One final thing before we go. Don't put multiple items in your blood altar. You want to put them in one at a time, because if you put in multiples at a time, it's going to try and consume enough blood to convert them all simultaneously. And if you don't have enough blood in your altar to do so, it's never going to work. So that's a little pro tip for your blood altar. Gotcha. But
that sounds
other than that, it's we've covered quite a bit of ground for the blood magic system. We've actually gotten into actual blood magic.
Yay.
So yeah.
I guess that's going to be it for this episode. So this has been Jariku and
ShneekeyTheLost.
We'll see you next time, guys.